ما الأسباب المعينة على تمسك المسلم بدينه والاستمرار على الطاعات حتى الممات؟
أن يتعلم دينه حتى يعرفه ويتمسك به، هذا واحد. الأمر الثاني أن يصاحب الأخيار والمتقين. والأمر الثالث أن يكثر من الدعاء، يدعو الله بالثبات على دينه ويخاف من أن ينزع منه دينه.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you're doing well. So, in this clip that I watched, it has this wonderful way of reminding us of how us Muslims are different than others, because we often ask questions that are around how can we be steadfast in our religion. And Sheikh Salih al Fawzan, I have some notes here. He gives us some advice on how to adhere to our religion till the day we die. And one of the things he mentions is to learn your religion. And what I love about this is when you become really passionate about Islam, when you revert, you are very enthusiastic. You're so ready to learn, for the most part, in my opinion. From my own experience and what I observed, you get this burst of energy, and it's something that is so beautiful. And I remember the first time I read the entire summary of Sahih al-Bukhari, the big thick volume. It was a page turner. I couldn't stop reading it. And on the channel, I've read all the first volumes of the series, except I'm almost done with Dawood. And I've read the 4 different Quran translations. Plus I have read other books as well. And just having this straight up hunger for the religion is just a wonderful way of existing. Because as a stay-at-home wife, I'd argue that you have lots of time to study and learn things. Because you're not being held down by a corporation. You're not being told, do you want fries with that? Or do you want a salad with that? Or one moment while I place you on hold. Whatever job it is that you have, it distracts us from gaining as much knowledge as we need and deserve. Now, I understand not everyone can be a stay-at-home mom, but my point is that it is such a blessing when you're enthusiastic about learning. And so, making time to learn is important. It really is. And so, he goes on further that you should also befriend the righteous. That's hard to do if you don't have an area where there's a lot of Muslims around. So try on social media, Now, each person has their flaws, what they're good at, what they're not good at. But for the most part, you can do your best to really make sure that you have access to, physically or digitally, someone knowledgeable, right? That's one really huge benefit of the digital age. He also mentioned to increase yourself in supplications, and that you can ask Allah to make you steadfast. And this is important too, because it reminds us to stay humble, in my opinion. We're always checking ourselves. There's a lot of people who they don't want to admit when they don't know something, and they always want to appear as they have all the answers. And I notice some people, they don't like it when a content creator admits to not knowing something. I found that kind of interesting. They rather a person fake it till they make it, sometimes, I'd argue, instead of just being honest and saying, you know what, I don't know the answer to that. I'm still learning. I'll get back to you on that. Or, oh, interesting, I didn't know this angle. It appears that some people, they don't really want to do that. They always want to appear as the authority. And so, for me, studying every day really does help you adhere to it, because you learn more and more. And I'd also argue it helps you to remove doubts. Because as people will bring things up to you, if you're like, well, this is what I know, and then let's say they bring up something that's untrue, you're like, nah, actually what you're saying is incorrect, and here's actually the proper way. right? You know, especially the ex-Muslims, they like to twist and distort things and leave things out to suit a narrative. Very sick individuals. Very sick. You know. You don't see ex-Christians do that. Ex-Christians usually just go on to become neckbeard, edgelord atheists. Some of them are very smug Sam Harris types. And they usually get really into intoxicants or something else. They don't really focus their entire lives on being ex-Christians. I can't name one ex-Christian who that's all they're doing. They just want to talk about Christianity all day. All they want to do is, you know, cause more harm towards the Christians. That they, you know, you just don't see it. Like, you'll see like an ex-Mormon video, and they're like, I left Mormonism, here's why, and then they move on with their life. They don't like crowdfund to travel or just produce anti-Christian content. You know what I mean? It's really strange. Really strange. And they usually become, a lot of ex-Christians just become actual atheists. And then they abhor all religions. But ex-Muslims will like flirt with other religions as long as they're getting paid. That's what's weird. Like, I don't see ex-Christians going to Hindus and Zionists and being like, pay me money to shill for you. You know? That's something to think about. Now, a thing also is that when you ask in a supplication to be increased in knowledge, I think that's always a way of having the feeling that you have more to learn. And I think that's hard for some people. You know? I feel like learning is a never-ending journey, but I do know that there's some content creators who they feel like they have sufficient knowledge and don't need to learn more, and they want to set themselves up as an authority, and I just always thought that was quite strange. And so, just to reiterate, if we want to be steadfast in our religion to the day we return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we never know what day that will be, but let's say we live a really long life and we don't want to be swayed to the wrong path, you make dua to be steadfast. Make sure you keep some good company, digitally and physically, and that you're consistently studying. So, great advice. Let me know what you think. Please like, comment, subscribe. Enjoy the blog.